Do you like retro anime?
Yes, but also no.
There are some fantastic titles that you might never have heard of.
And others that really should have been left alone.
Tough, because we're going to cover it all. Father and son, the classics, the obscure, and the forgotten.
The crimes of the anime boom era.
Plenty of all that, all on the Retro Anime Podcast, where we dissect the best and the worst of retro anime from the perspective of someone who grew up with it.
And someone who's never touched it in their life.
Join me, Ian, and my son Lewis on our journey through the retro wilderness. Find us on Twitter at Retro Anime and on all podcast hosting services by searching for Retro Anime Podcast.
Tonight on a special post-holiday edition of The Director's Cut, it is Chrimbus time as we check out Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Chrimbus Special as part of our special Adult Swim Holiday Edition. So stick around, everybody. The show starts right now. Welcome to a special post-holiday edition of Collateral Cinema Director's Cut. I'm Bo Maddox.
And I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And we are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, or joints, smoke it if you've got it. And yep, this is the official post-holiday wrap-up that we do every year here on the Director's Cut. We also do one on Collateral Gaming, so look for that coming very soon. And today we're also diving back into the world of Adult Swim as we check out another Adult Swim holiday special. What do you think, Ash?
Hey, Bo.
Yeah.
You know what I really wanted for Chrimbus?
What was it? Did you keep your bush moist and trim?
I did keep my bush moist and trim, but I didn't get what I really wanted for Christmas. What I wanted was the Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Chrimbus Special DVD.
Absolutely, right? I mean, it would have been a perfect gift for everybody. You know? And yeah, that's what we are talking about on this post-holiday edition. We are talking about the Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Chrimbus Special. Quite possibly one of the strangest goddamn things you'll probably ever see. It is so deliriously insane, but I mean, it's pretty much just meant to be like a traditional holiday variety show, kind of like what you would have seen back in the day, but it's kind of gone a little off, right?
Yeah. And by the way, I just found out that there are deleted scenes of this. I watched these on YouTube just now. There are actually deleted scenes on the DVD. So that's really why we should have had the DVD, because Dean Norris, Hank fucking Schrader, is in one of those scenes. I had no idea. This came out in 2010, so this is right in the middle of when he was doing Breaking Bad. And that's just amazing.
Yeah.
It honestly fits the vibe of this entire Chrimbus special. I mean, this is just amazing. This is Tim and Eric, honestly, at its peak.
It is totally peak Tim and Eric. I mean, basically, you have the basic structure of a variety show. You have the host segments, which we'll talk about on their own right here in a second. And then another part of the Chrimbus special is you have a Chrimbus Carol. You have like 2 or 3 parts of that, and that follows Carol and her boss, who are recurring characters on Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
Yes, Carol and Mr. Henderson.
Carol and Mr. Henderson is like, oh my lord. They kind of go back all the way to the first season of the show,
yeah.
And yeah, man, I've always loved the whole shtick with them. I mean, the whole thing is that Henderson is this just complete hog of a human being who just demeans Carol, but Carol loves it. Carol's into it.
And because they're in love and like they're happy now, he's actually like changed and he's a different person, and she's not in love with him anymore because
she wanted her dirty Mr. Henderson.
Yeah.
You know? She wanted him to tell her that she was an absolute filth pig. So yeah, that's their whole shtick and everything. And we also have kind of a, I want to say just kind of a narrative part of the Chrimbus special, where we have the hospital and we have what turns out to be DV, the DVD monster.
Oh, he's actually, DV, I wish you were my son.
He's telling this story pretty much on his deathbed to this girl and her dad and the doctor.
You know,
and
I could not figure out where I'd seen his face before. I was looking at him. The actor's name is Tennessee Luke, I think. But like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, he looks like somebody. He's got a face. You know who he looks like?
Who is that?
I just figured it out. He looks exactly like Bob Hickman.
Oh my God!
He's like a blonde Bob Hickman. God has entered my body like a body my same size, Bob Hickman.
Absolutely, that's exactly what he looks like. I was expecting him to say that. I mean, he even has the whole bowl haircut and everything.
Yeah, it was hilarious. The older DV,
yeah. And then you'd have a lot of what's pretty standard for a Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job episode. Like, for instance, you have an appearance by Dr. Steve Brule, played by John C. Reilly, who, of course, got his own spin-off show. Check it out with Steve Brule, which is absolute brilliance. It's just some of the best awkward comedy that you'll ever witness.
Will it make me want to eat my own pubic hair?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to eat over a pound of human hair in order for Winterman to come. I mean, you've got to.
And if you don't want some from your head, you've got hair on your body. So,
oh yeah, all over your body. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Steve Brule is another character that goes all the way back to the first season of Tim and Eric Awesome Show, and I mean, his character is just steals the show every time that he's on. I mean, there's a reason that they gave him his own show. It's just. And that show is just a complete surreal mindfuck of a public access journalist show, I guess, a journalism show, I should say. But I mean, yeah, he's all about living on your lonesome, and that's pretty much what he's giving, like public service announcements and everything, Yeah. And then of course we have the illustrious James Quall, who. I mean, I don't know what to really say about old Quall. I mean,
his whole like comedy routine, like where they're laughing at all of his jokes, even though they're not funny.
They're not even jokes.
They're not even jokes. Yeah. You know what? I bet they have the Terry Green seal of approval.
The Terry Green seal of approval, absolutely. The good old Terry Green, played by the one and only Zach Galifianakis, and he just plays this really arrogant, just completely way too into himself actor. That's Terry Green. And this right here, it has everything that makes Terry Green Terry Green. You have the Terry Green machine, which plays exclusively Terry Green movies and everything, like Tiny Little Dancing Man or Tiny Little Dancing Man and whatnot. But I mean, yeah, it's honestly some of Zach Galifianakis' best work, really. And that's where I actually first became aware of pretty much both him and John C. Reilly was Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
Nice.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I remember when John C. Reilly, he did Step Brothers and he did Talladega Nights and everything. He was just starting to kind of come up as a comedic actor. But I mean, Steve Brule is honestly his best character, not bar none.
Yeah, I agree.
It's absolute craziness. I love it. It's like, I mean, that's kind of the thing about this, about Tim and Eric Awesome Show, is that there's not a whole lot to it. It's very randomized. It has kind of it has the kind of overarching narrative parts, and then it just has everything else that is kind of that are basically just different types of skits and everything, you know?
Yeah. And it's just the pacing of it is really a lot of fun. You're just constantly cutting away to the next skit, and I feel like there were moments where they like called for a commercial break, and then like they hadn't actually returned to the main show, and were still and called for another commercial break.
I know, right? And you still have to remember that this is a story that's being told by DV.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, how is he actually telling this story? I mean,
he's doing the commercials and everything.
How do you distill a variety show into that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the fucking the voiceover work by Bob Odenkirk on the commercials.
Yeah, the commercials are kind of their own interesting little thing in Tim and Eric Awesome Show, mainly done by the Cinco Corporation, which is the fictional the fictional corporation that pretty much creates all of the crap that's sold on Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job. And here they have the Pasta Bear and
the food tube.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Or Bow or something like that. Like so many great weird inventions, I guess you could say, and it's all just such a great little takedown of that type of consumer capitalism as well, you know.
All with the voice of Saul Goodman. I mean, I feel like this is a product he would probably try to pitch.
Oh, he absolutely would pitch most of the stuff that Cinco makes.
Yeah,
you know? and having him as the actual pitch man there is pure brilliance, you know, because I mean I'm pretty sure that Tim and Eric actually came to know Bob Odenkirk by way of working on Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, which was their original show on HBO.
Yeah, I think I read that they sent their original like their pilot work to Bob Odenkirk, who was a comedian that they looked up to, and he liked it, and so they ended up pitching it to Adult Swim, and that's how we got Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're all the better for it because, I mean,
for real.
Tim and Eric's show, it really was a paradigm shift for Adult Swim back in the day. You know, I mean, up to that point, of course, it mostly been animated. It was all cartoons and everything.
Right.
But this show was amongst that first spate of live action shows, along with like Saul the Mole Man and a couple of other pilots that was pitched at that time. I also Delocated became a thing around that time. And I mean, this kind of showed how live action could really fit in with the whole aesthetic and the whole type of humor that Adult Swim typically caters to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like the surrealist humor, I think works really well here, and it's even more funny, I think, in live action because you're seeing real humans do it. I mean, even going to the audience reactions in you know, we actually get to see the studio audience, and like for parts of it, they have just these blank expressions on their faces, and then they'll I guess they're being prompted or they're all actors themselves. I don't know.
Yeah,
because they'll all act in unison. I don't know if there's just like stage prompts or what.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the audience, you know, it's like I just love how they utilize the reactions for this audience, which are all just decrepit old men. It's just all old men in this entire episode, save for a few instances. But that's kind of another part of Tim and Eric's overall humor is that, you know, they kind of evoke old men, you know, they go, you know, dad culture kind of even.
True.
So I mean, they like to make fun of that sort of thing. And if you look in the audience, there's a lot of Tim and Eric Awesome Show regulars there. There's the sit on you guy. He does the, this is what I do. I sit on you. There's the sexual romance guy. And, you know, there's... if you look closely, there's other regulars that have appeared on Tim and Eric Awesome Show, like throughout the years, except for one. I don't remember who it was. But interestingly, we do see David Lee Hart, who is another legendary member of this cast.
Yeah, he's in one of the deleted scenes, actually.
Yeah, I went ahead and saw that. Yeah, I watched the deleted scenes as well. And you only see him in the actual special near the end whenever they come out to get their DVDs. But his sequence, I don't know, I kind of might understand why they cut it out because... oh my God, that was so just spaced out, man. I mean...
I kind of spaced out while watching it, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing that you need to know about David Lee Hart. He's 100% serious about most all of this shit in his shtick.
Oh.
Like, he literally believes that.
Jesus Christ.
And apparently his background is from, like, Christian Science. And he was a Christian scientist. And everything.
Interesting.
So apparently Tim and Eric, they came across his audition tape or a tape of his public access work, and that's how they started using him in Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job. And his whole weird ventriloquist shtick and everything he says about, the Corinians and about space. No, he is serious about that. Like I have the first season DVD, and the episode that he's on the commentary for it, and he kind of gets into what his overall belief system is regarding the different space races of aliens and everything, and it's like. You're just like, wow, this dude is like for real about this.
Fuck.
Like, what the fuck?
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
No, he is completely like sincere about it.
Yeah, I mean that's right on brand though, because I mean these are the same guys who will pick up people like Tommy Wiseau, for instance. Like, hey, we could do something with this, and then it's unfortunate that like future plans fell apart, and apparently there were some creative differences. I guess Tommy still at that point was a difficult person to work with, like he was during the production of The Room.
He's kind of still got the. He's still got kind of the old Tommy-isms going at that time, Because, I mean, you have to remember, Adult Swim is pretty much what kind of dragged The Room out of obscurity and kind of made it a thing.
True.
And Tim and Eric were the ones who kind of gave him a real voice on television and everything.
Yeah.
With the Pigman episode.
oh, shit, it's the Winter Man with his dick out.
That is actually the actor. He played Joy in Tom Goes to the Mayor, which was Tom's wife.
I have the video playing in the background right now. By the way, that's why.
I have it too. It's like, his whole shtick is that he's just naked. He's naked and he dances. Like even whenever they tour, like he'll come out and he'll do the Raise the Roof dance completely naked.
Nice.
And it's just like, my God, man. It's like, how much did they pay you to do this? It's like, my Lord.
Like you have all of them sitting on his lap. He's just got his dick hanging out.
It's like, I want a pasta bear.
I want a pasta bear.
Or that one guy is like, I want my own website so I can post nude pictures of my family for all my friends to see.
I also love again the constant gags, with the interrupting to talk about the Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job Chrimbus special DVD.
Yeah, it makes it clear that this is an advertisement first and foremost. Like even at the beginning of the special, there's a little disclaimer that says that this whole thing is pretty much just for retailers, and there's even there's even a little advertisement near the beginning that it is specifically. It's specifically targeted towards retailers and everything.
Yeah.
They're like, if you get a pallet of 100, you get this special end cap right here. So, once again, it's that thing where Tim and Eric just really likes to take that weird kind of gaudy type of consumer capitalism and just really just kind of turn it up to 11 and just make it look really, really like banal and mundane, but also just so existentially empty and almost nihilistic. You know, that's what I've always loved about Tim and Eric Awesome Show. And for them to do that with a Christmas special or Chrimbus, as it were, I mean, they definitely bring their unique brand. They definitely bring their unique brand of humor to the holiday, and it's something that I just love so much about them. I mean, they just know that, you know, there's just kind of a rot in American culture, and they were kind of the first ones to kind of see what that rot was and kind of point it out and make fun of it and everything.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
No, I understand.
So,
I mean, this is 2010. I mean, and this is the end of the show's run, as I understand it. So,
yeah, this was around the 5th or 6th season. I think it only had like 5 seasons or something like that.
yeah.
Maybe 6. But yeah, this is definitely a high note for them to go out on. You know, a little while after this, they would start up with the Tim and Eric bedtime stories, which is kind of another weird, surreal kind of horror anthology that they were doing.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff. You know, they actually had some pretty interesting ideas, and it was still very uniquely Tim and Eric and everything. But I mean, this right here, this is kind of just this awesome last hurrah of the classic Tim and Eric aesthetic and everything, you know? Like even just in their costume choices, you know? Or just the hair appliances that they're wearing, or even what their background dancers are wearing. Like did you see that those ridiculous vests? They have the nipples cut open and everything. Like what the hell is that?
Yes. Like I have to wonder if there were any actual like live studio audience members there that just had like stage prompts or something. Like, because can you imagine just like coming into this without context and seeing all of it unfold?
No. Everyone in the audience is in on the joke. I mean,
Okay,
they're all
actors.
Every bit with the audience is very much contrived for the scene. You know, it's like the audience is just kind of its own character in and of itself in this episode.
Yes, it is.
You know,
well, that's kind of what made me wonder too, because I mean, like I could see how it could maybe be done, but like, yeah, I mean, they're all like part of the bit. And
yes,
yeah, I mean, you know, like you said, like there are several regulars in there, so you already know. But yeah, like they kind of like you said, they're their own character in the sketch, especially here.
And it's all just like really kind of monosyllabic stuff that they say, all in unison.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, and then like clap or something like that. It's like
true, that could not be achieved with stage prompts. What was I thinking? There's no way everybody would just be on time with each other.
Yeah, no. Of course not. It's like this was all. This was all choreographed.
Yeah, it had to have been.
And of course they had to get like some of the most, along with some of the show's regulars, they always had a knack for just finding the most mediocre looking people to act as extras or background actors or whatever, you know. It's like they have a very unique knack of kind of finding mediocrity and making it look really gaudy and really, really just exaggerated. And the audience is kind of indicative of that. Like 100%.
Yeah, totally.
And now, a special Chrimbus safety message from Pierre.
Chrimbus is not all about fun and games. You gotta make sure you stay warm. You don't want to get frostbite. Think I'll take a walk through this forest. Damn, it's cold out here. I know, I'll just put on my gloves. Oops. I didn't pack my gloves, kids. There's 2 things I know for sure right now. There's no squirrels in sight, and I'm definitely gonna get frostbite. Hit it.
Don't get the bite. Just keep those gloves on. Don't get the bite.
Kids, I feel that bite going all through my blood.
Don't get the bite.
Damn, I wish there was some squirrels out here to keep me company.
Don't get the bite.
Oh no, my ding-dongs froze.
Don't get the bite. Just keep those mittens on. Don't get the bite.
This is the worst pain I've ever experienced, children.
Bo, I think I'm going to go get a food tube procedure done.
Oh no, the food tube. Oh God. That's another thing that Tim and Eric really excel at. They know how to make food look absolutely repugnant.
Yeah, like look at the aforementioned pasta bear.
Yeah. It's like that whole thing is like, okay, so it's a stuffed bear. It has pasta inside of it, and the pasta apparently has all kinds of bugs and parasites and diseases and shit. And like, what do you have to do? You have to like boil it first, and then you microwave it, and then you have to still look for fucking parasites. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. They're constantly mentioning that there's still like there's still some kind of like health hazard with it at every step of the process. You're like, okay, check for surviving parasites in the food, and make sure you throw the bear in the trash to prevent the spread of disease. Like
spread of diseases. It's like, what the fuck are y'all selling here?
Yes.
And just the sheer impracticality of the food tube. I mean, that's kind of another thing. It's like the products that Cinco makes is they're so unnecessary and contrived and so inconvenient that it's like the point of them is just completely lost on everyone,
Yeah.
and the food tube is exactly an example of that. It's like, I mean, you have to drill a goddamn hole in the table, and you have to have your teeth pulled, and you have to inject Novocaine, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? It was like all just because a fork might be a little too pointy or something, might jab you. It's like then use chopsticks, motherfuckers.
I want to be a food tuber too. Well, you can with the Cinco food tube system. Like the performances just really sell it too, because
yeah, these guys mainly it's like these guys are just so fucking into each other. It's like these are like, they're like old man gay for each other.
True, yeah,
total old man gay for each other. And
oh man, it's like John Turturro and Christopher Walken in Severance.
Exactly. It's kind of like that, and I just can't get over the whole. I'm like the whole reason they have that. This isn't the first. It's not the first bit that they've done with those two actors. Those are actual recurring characters in Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
I'd imagine so. To be honest.
And it's always involves getting your teeth pulled for no good goddamn reason, and dude, they specifically just knew that guy had dentures, and they were like, no, we specifically want you to take out the dentures and be like, oh, these are dentures, It's like just the way that these skits are written like that. It's just so weird, you know. But going back to what they do with food, like that goes all the way back to Tom Goes to the Mayor, because they would always find a way to make food look absolutely repulsive on that show as well. Like for instance, they had a. They had a chain that the whole thing was you have to bring in meat, and all they serve is just fucking like sauces. It's just all like a sauce bar or something, and you bring your own meat to sauce, and they make an ad for it, and yeah, of course they have like real food and the real meat, and they're dipping it in all this fucking crap, and it's just.
How did you feel about that, Bo?
Honestly, it's one of those shows that probably made me slightly turn vegan a little bit. Like there's an episode of Tim and Eric Awesome Show where they're at a wing restaurant and they're eating chicken wings, and let me tell you, that was the first time where I really realized that, guys, eating chicken wings is disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Like just the way, and they were eating them just like anybody else would eat chicken wings. But they make it look so repugnant, man. Like that turned me off to eating chicken wings, and that was probably one of the first steps I took towards veganism in any meaningful way. So yeah, it's like even in the Christmas Carol bit, like when they go to the pizza restaurant, they even managed to make the food there look terrible. That's a terrible looking pizza for one.
Yeah, it doesn't look appetizing.
No. They really just have a knack for just, taking food and making it look just like unappetizing and disgusting and just blech. Yeah. But it's just overall part of their aesthetic and part of their humor. It's the whole attacking the banality and the mediocrity of American consumer culture and everything. It boils down to that and everything.
Well, Bo, just make sure you don't get the bite.
Don't get the bite. Oh yeah, that's Pierre, another recurring character. And let me tell you, he is quite interesting. He's always trying to get your Pep's number. He wants to get your dad's number. He can't stop thinking about your dad, Ash.
I can't stop thinking about your dad.
Can't stop thinking about your dad.
I've seen that bit because I know, like you and Robert quote that all the time.
I know, right? We do.
So does he canonically die here? Does he get frostbite and die, or has he died before?
No, it's not canonical. I mean, Pierre he's a recurring character throughout the series, and he has various weird dance numbers like that. Once again, he's just always trying to get that Pep's number. He just wants to meet that Pep.
Damn.
He wants to meet him. Yeah. He just wants to meet that Pep. He sends him an email. Get his email address. Oh my God.
Don't get the bite.
Don't get the bite. But anyway, yeah, I think that we could go ahead and start kind of wrapping this one up. I mean, there's not really a whole lot more that we can get into with this particular episode. Like maybe other than the way that they actually kind of subvert, Christmas itself into Chrimbus, like for instance with the Chrimbus bush, with Winterman and everything. Like it's very fitting for the universe that they reside in, right?
Yeah, I like how it's like separate. I don't know if there was any ever mention of Christmas in the other Christmas specials, or or if it was always Chrimbus. I'm not too sure, but I like how it's like a whole like separate thing here, like you said, with the bushes and then the Winterman and kind of its own like mythology. That's cool.
And the interesting thing is, we do get a one little great job vignette. Great job.
Great job.
We get one of those that actually has a nativity scene, but it has Chippy involved with it, and it's absolutely horrific and amazing. So there's some kind of allusion to the religious aspect of what Chrimbus would be. So I guess there might be some Christian element to it in this universe, maybe. Because you have to remember that. I mean, this is the Tim and Eric Awesome Show. It very much takes place in the same universe as Tom Goes to the Mayor. Like we even get the Married News Team in that as well. So. Like in some weird way, it's like this is just what they're watching in Jefferton, just all these mediocre people just watching more mediocre people celebrate a very mediocre holiday.
Yes.
Merry Chrimbus, right?
Yeah. Very, very prescient for 2010. I don't know. It feels ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time. Yeah. But anyway, Ash, what are your final thoughts on Tim and Eric Awesome Show? Great job. Chrimbus special, now on DVD.
Oh, man. Again, I mean, I the fact that I don't have the Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job, Chrimbus special DVD in my hands is actually a travesty. I mean, this is amazing. Like I said, this is peak Tim and Eric. This is just all of the absurdity and the surrealism just boiled down into, with a nice little holiday Christmas wrapping, and it's wonderful. And it's this is definitely something I could see myself watching every holiday season, to be honest. I mean, I've watched it several times already before we recorded this episode. I think I've seen it like 4 or 5 times by now, not including the viewing that's on the screen in the background. So this is infinitely rewatchable. And also, fuck Gary.
Fuck Gary. That motherfucker. It's like, no, Mr. Henderson was right to go off on him.
That's right.
Absolutely right.
Fuck Gary.
But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why this particular Christmas special is so lauded and everything. Just it's so respected. I mean, this was part of the live streaming video that Adult Swim has on YouTube. And I was looking in the comments, and everybody was just talking about the Chrimbus special. They were just like, "Oh hell yeah, we get to watch the Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job Chrimbus special." And it's like, it just kind of shows you that it's actually not very easy to watch this on the internet. Like right now, I'm just watching clips of it from AdultSwim.com and everything.
It's on Max.
It's a playlist of clips. It's on what?
It's on Max, like everything Warner Brothers.
Well, I don't have Max, so you know.
Well, you probably know somebody who does. Everybody knows somebody who has a Max subscription. That goes for any streaming service. You know, either your parents know it, or your friend knows it, or your friend's parent knows it.
I feel like this right here is something that should be a little more freely available on the internet. I feel, you know.
Sure, I
but
mean,
anyway, yeah, this is just the best encapsulation of everything that Tim and Eric is. You know, it's just like we said, the showcasing of mediocrity, the consumer capitalism, the disgusting food, like everything is here. And just the way that they just completely subvert Christmas into the Chrimbus holiday is a lot of fun. It's really hilarious. And I mean, it's something to put on and just kind of gauge people's reaction to it. Like, this was actually a live show that they did. They toured doing this when this came out.
Hell yeah. That would be fucking awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, I remember they were showing pictures of it on Adult Swim at the time on one of their bumps. And there's just a picture of the audience. Everyone there is perplexed, but there's this one dude with this shit-eating grin on his face, and they're just like, that dude gets it. He 100% gets it right off the top.
That's awesome.
You know?
Dude, because I just said, can you imagine like watching this shit in a live studio audience? Like, that would be hilarious.
It would be amazing. I wish I could have gone and seen the original Chrimbus special tour that they did, you know, because I mean, Tim and Eric's live show is a lot of fun from what I've heard.
Okay, so it does exist. There is a live show version of this with a live studio audience.
Absolutely.
I mean, some part of me had to believe that that's happened, that somebody could just walk into this with no context and watch it.
Well, in Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job. I forget which season, they did an episode which was pretty much their live show. It was a presentation of the live show that they do whenever they tour. And it was done as some kind of like telethon or something in that presentation. But yeah, they pretty much just did an episode where they did their entire live set. Or just like a more like truncated version of it, I should say.
Okay.
And so yeah, Tim and Eric Awesome Show in a live setting. I really, really kick myself in the ass for missing that. I mean, it just seems like it would be a very unique experience.
No kidding.
Yeah, but this is definitely something that's just part of the Adult Swim holiday aesthetic. I mean, and it was a lot of fun rewatching it, man. And it's great that they included it in the free live stream, you know, so that more people who may not have Max or whatever, they can actually experience it.
Yeah, that was cool that they were doing that YouTube stream and streaming. We watched several Adult Swim holiday specials. It looked like they were re-airing the same ones. But they were the good ones.
That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do on YouTube. They'll set up a live stream of various episodes, and they'll just loop it
and
everything.
And I mean, yeah, it was a good mix of episodes, and this being a part of it was just amazing. But yeah, it is on Max. You probably know somebody who has a Max subscription. You could probably watch the entire thing in the number of clips that they have up on YouTube. You would just have to watch them in order.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, but totally. Or you can get the Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Chrimbus Special DVD.
Yeah, from what I understand, I don't think that it's particularly expensive. You know, like maybe at most $15.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
I've been meaning to try to track it down and everything.
It feels like that's
you know.
the ideal way to view this.
It is. Absolutely. It's the ideal way because in the end, this is just an advertisement for the DVD itself. So, yeah. It's only right.
It's only right.
But anyway, yeah, that wraps up this post-holiday edition of the Director's Cut. Ash, I understand that you just released some new content on Collateral Gaming, right?
Well, not really. I mean, we got our Christmas special out right after Christmas, or a few days later. But very soon here, we should have out Ocarina of Time Part 2. And yeah, that will conclude our Zelda month a little bit late. And then, of course, our post-holiday edition of the bonus round, where we're going to talk about the Angry Video Game Nerds Season 3. And that'll wrap up all of the holiday and post-holiday content for us, after which we will be doing Super Metroid this month. That's going to be our 50th episode. So I'm really excited about it. And, of course, the year in review. Actually, I think I want to go ahead and record that here this week. So, yeah, look for that very soon. I believe on Collateral Cinema, we should be doing a year in review episode as well, where we're going to cover a few of the games and movies that we wanted to talk about on the game launch and at the movies edition of the podcasts, but didn't get a chance to. So, yeah. Look for those. And I believe on Collateral Cinema this month is going to be our anime month, right?
Exactly. We are going to be talking about The Lost, Naruto the movie, which was an episode that we recorded initially, but something happened to it, and we ended up a year later re-recording it, and we are once again going to have Matt St. Jack from Anime Talks on that episode. And on our second anime episode, we will be talking Ghost in the Shell with the Retro Anime Podcast, who are good friends of ours. And yeah, those are going to be very interesting episodes. And it's always fun when we do anime here. I really, really want Robert to be on those episodes so that we can just rag on him about the heart of the cards the entire time.
This time, I'm actually, it's kind of fortuitous that for some reason that episode became lost media, and we ended up having to re-record it because, we got to watch The Last with Robert. And this time I actually decided it would be better if we watched a few Naruto and Naruto Shippuden episodes for prep. So it all worked out in the end. We got to watch a few episodes of the anime, and then show you guys the movie. You and I were watching it again. I watch it every Christmas, to be honest, as it is actually a Christmas movie.
Oh, 100%.
And Ghost in the Shell, of course, I'm really excited for. I watched it again recently, and that's just a phenomenal movie.
Hey, you want to talk about a movie that's more prescient than ever?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, geez. Yeah. So yeah, look for that coming this month. And right now we have our Samurai Cop episode, part 2 of Bad Movie December. We talk about both Samurai Cop 1 and 2 with Frank from the Geek Freaks podcast network. And we should also have another Phoenix Wright Let's Play coming out very soon. We should be doing day 3 of Turnabout Sisters. So look for that coming this Wednesday. And I don't believe there's anything else we have in the wraps other than the year-end review episode. So, yeah, look for all of that on Collateral Cinema. But, yeah, you can find Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming on all the podcast apps. But mainly, check us out on Good Pods, where you can rate and review us and help us climb the podcast charts there. And also, check us out on YouTube. Apparently, a lot of people are really starting to get into podcasts on YouTube nowadays. So if that's what you're into, if that's your preferred medium for podcasting, go ahead and check us out there. And we are also on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and also, what else? TikTok, I believe, and Reddit and everything. And also check out our Facebook shit posting group. It's Collateral Media Podcasts. You can find that. Just search that on Facebook. And we also have a TeePublic account. We are TeePublic affiliates, and we have Collateral Cinema, Collateral Gaming, Director's Cut, and bonus round swag available there. Hats, shirts, mugs, cell phone cases, tapestries, the whole 9 yards. And also be sure to check out Texas Sundown on our YouTube channel. If you can find it on one of our playlists. That's our short film that was directed by Robert Ortegon and starring pretty much all of us. So yeah, check us out there. And anything else, Ash?
Don't forget to get the Collateral Cinema Director's Cut post-holiday edition Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job Chrimbus special on DVD.
Oh, absolutely. It would be interesting to release physical media of this show, right? That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know. Who knows? But all right, with all of that said, we hope that you had a great holiday season. We now are officially called the holiday season fully wrapped up. I'm Bo Maddox.
And I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And this was the Director's Cut. Check you later, everyone. Bye.
And now, a song for DV from Tim and Eric.
Oh, DV, I wish you were my son. Oh, DV, I wish you were my son. You hairy boy, you need a trim. I'll get you wet for Chrimbus swim. Oh, DV, I love you more than him. Oh, DV, I wish you were my son. Oh, DV, I wish you were my son.
Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.